to Business Prowess with Rafael and Dr. Andrea. Our show will bring you the best insights, ideas, and inspiration from successful entrepreneurs and CEOs in the business world. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn from the best and stay ahead of the game. Sifu Rafael is the founder of 5 unique shows. He's a fitness professional, solutions expert, executive coach, and head instructor at Max Martial Arts and Fitness in New York. Dr. Andrea Adams Miller is an award-winning international keynote speaker, best-selling author, and CEO of the Red Carpet Connection Publicity, Publishing, and Talent Agency, and CEO of IgniteYourRelationship.com. Known as the Dream Maker, she makes visionaries' dreams come true, bigger than they ever dare to desire.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I am so excited for today's show. Dr. Andrea Adams Miller is not around today. She's traveling all over the place. She's making business connections and making things happen. But I have to tell you, today's show is going to be phenomenal because I have 3 exceptional guests. Take a look. We have Alethea, Nikki, and Paul. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes. So today we're talking about limitless business opportunities through transformational leadership. And you all are doing great and incredible things. So I would love to highlight every aspect of who you are. Who wants to go first? Don't be shy.
Not all at the same time. I'll jump on the stage. I'm happy to jump on the stage.
Perfect.
Awesome. So take it away, right? Paul McFadden here. I am the CEO and founder of Evolve Human Potential, but also the founder of the Becoming Human 2.0 movement. And I'll just talk a little bit about the movement. So then the movement itself, it's really about helping individuals discover, awaken, and evolve, which are really the 3 phases of transformation, or the 3 phases of human evolution. So discovery is really about, diving deep into who you are, so knowing thyself. Awakening is about embodying certain practices that help you become a better version, or what I like to reframe as stepping into being more like yourself. And then the evolution is really about the integration of those practices so that you end up developing a lifestyle that is conducive for you becoming the architect of all of your dreams and the way you want to live. And thank you for the opportunity to be here, Sifu.
Yeah, look at Jose. He's loving us.
I
We love you too, Jose. We love you, buddy. When we look at limitless, I can't even say the word, limitless business opportunities, what does that mean to anyone here? Because we all are looking to accomplish something, and I think that all of us are looking to help someone in the process while we enrich our own lives. What are your thoughts?
I'll jump in here. I think when it comes to limitless business opportunities, when I think of that, I think about being open to what could be, meaning that while we already have established our niche or our expertise area, limitless opportunities mean avoid being closed off to what could potentially come in the future. All it takes is one right conversation, one right connection to shift your entire world, and being open to how we evolve and grow as time goes on as people and also in our businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. What are your thoughts, Nikki?
Well, I love the word limitless, number one. I mean, it just the sound of it. And to me, limitless business opportunities is certainly a mindset. It's, it's something that you've got to lean into and shift your focus from what examples from the past that maybe aren't aligned with the outcomes that you want today. And how can you start seeing obstacles as opportunities and what's possible? Because you don't know where something's going to lead you. I mean, I was on Facebook just scrolling one day, and I found this woman who had a Facebook group. I joined it, and she was hosting a clarity challenge. I joined the challenge. I do the 5 days of homework. I win a call with her. And that phone call presented the opportunity of leaving my job as a teacher and starting this business today. So you just never know. The opportunities are limitless, truly.
They are. I love the word too. Sometimes I have trouble saying it.
Could be a tongue twister.
Well, not really, but I'm being silly here. But when you think about limitless, it's about there are no boundaries, there are no ceilings, if you will. You can go left, right, top, bottom, every which way, backwards, forwards. When we consider limitless, we should consider us, that we should be limitless, and the opportunities that present to us is because we are open to them. So I believe to have those opportunities show up is because I always say SEO, and everybody think, oh, you're talking about search engine optimization. Yeah, no. I'm talking about see every opportunity, because you never know. Like, you went to this Facebook group and you found somebody and you signed up, and it led you to some where you are today, right? So every action has a reaction. And when we consider the actions that we take every single day, we're setting up our tomorrows. If I decide I'm going to go to the bar, I'm going to start drinking, it's 10 a.m. So what? Click, click. Guess what? In a month, I may still be at that bar. I mean, hopefully I showered and changed or whatnot, but that may become a habit. Maybe because maybe I lost my job or had a bad breakup or whatever. And I start doing these things, and that leads you to the next steps. And so everything we do today will affect our future.
Yeah, I love that you brought up the word habit, because it made me think, we could have a habit like that of, drinking or maybe sleeping in or binge watching Netflix, but there's also habit of thinking as well. And I think some people, including myself, may have to make it a habit of seeing the opportunities versus a habit of seeing the reasons and excuses for why you can't be something or have something.
I love what Paul, what you're doing with the community. Would you tell us a little bit about your community and how you're guiding people through it?
Well, absolutely. Thank you for that. So I had, I'll say there's two communities, right? So it's really one massive community. So I would call it the Becoming Human 2.0 tribe, if you will. Right. And there's two ways that I approach that. So there's one community, which I would call the collective, which is really like the encompassing ecosystem of folks that would consider themselves pioneers, and maybe folks that are seeking or kind of interested in the personal development or personal well-being journey. And then you have folks that would consider themselves maybe visionaries, or folks that have been practicing some of these things around personal development or personal well-being and wanting to integrate them more in their lives. And there's an opportunity for them to also teach and mentor as well. And so what we're doing is cultivating what I call the 5 pillars of human alchemy, which are really the 5 pillars of well-being. So that looks like emotional well-being, mental, physical, spiritual, and transcendental well-being. And it's really about, part of this is the connection to self, but then there's the more holistic perspective of connection to everything else, right? We're all one, right? And so it's understanding how we find balance in these different aspects of areas of our well-being, if you will, that help us go through the evolutionary process as human beings. And then how that breaks down individually, there's obviously a more granular approach to that by looking at different 7 domains of what I call personal development or personal mastery, which ends up being, intrapersonal, emotional, mental, nutritional, physical, interpersonal, which is our connection with everyone else, and then of course a more of a universal perspective of looking at the universal connection to consciousness. And you can look at this from multiple perspectives. A lot of people like to think about this as a contemplative practice, or potentially a religious practice, or potentially a scientific practice. And I'll tell you, it's the amalgamation of all of it, right? So I look at the term of human alchemy as integrating ancient alchemy, which is a science and an art, which is integrating a more of a spiritual or contemplative type of practice to be able to connect to ourselves spiritually and connect to a higher self or higher power. But then understanding that there are modern practices as well as ancient practices that when we kind of integrate them and bring them into our, I'll say, our conscious awareness, and start to not only embody but integrate as part of our lifestyle, we can then become the entire architect of the experience. And that doesn't matter how you might define success, because the way I define success and you define success might be different, and that's okay, because it is based on how you perceive what your true self really looks like, what your true experience was meant to be. I like to tell people, because we tend to look at other individuals and see their, I'll call it their blessings, right? This person got blessed, or they had a certain type of lifestyle or a certain life that seemed to unfold for them, and we get envious at times. But it's like, no, your blessing, what's meant for you is around the corner, right? So it's more about tapping into what truly drives you as an individual, as the person, as the human that you are, what's really driving you, what your passion is, what your gifts are, what your true values are. Step into who you are and allow those gifts to flow. And then all the things that were meant for you, the universe has already created it anyway, right? It's just more about you aligning with that frequency so that you can call more of that into your existence. But you can't do that if you're not in balance, right? And so what we see is the imbalance of folks. It's not so much that you need to have the right mindset, even though mindset's important. It's about finding balance. And when we can find that balance, that equilibrium, if you will, between the different pillars and domains of that govern us, then we step into that version of us that is truly there to serve as well as to grow.
Love it, love it. I love the being the architect, right? Because I like building things. So when we build things, and if we are the architect, we can draw, if you will, plan what we want. Do we want a balcony? Do we want a staircase here? Do we want an elevator there? How many windows? How many doors? But those are just materialistic things, but we can build deeper if we start to build inside of ourselves so that we can help others. Alethea, I would love to know what's going on in your world. What are you doing right now that is exciting for you and that will be exciting for us?
A lot of things are exciting, but I'll focus. Yeah, it's just a really exciting season of my life. And, a part of my story is, you all know, but maybe the audience doesn't, is after 20 years of part-time entrepreneurship and hustles and all of that kind of things, for the past year and a half, I've done full-time entrepreneurship, which is a totally different world, but I love it and I can't stop and I love it. So I am Alethea Felton, and people over time have coined me as the resilience architect. They're like, you know how to build resilience. You're a resilience architect. And so what I am excited about, I am the CEO and founder of Alethea Felton Coaching LLC. I've had that company for a while, and under that are my speaking leg, my podcasting leg, and my community leg, as well as my writing leg. So in that umbrella are different ones. I'm the host of the Power Transformation podcast, a top 5% ranked show where I interview people who have overcome challenges, have had transitions and pivots, and are not only changing their lives, but changing the lives of so many others around them. And then also, I am a speaker. So I speak on resilience, how to just not bounce back, but how to thrive beyond your setbacks, how to have unstoppable breakthroughs. And I also speak and coach on burnout strategies, on stress management, things dealing with overall wellness. But that motivational piece is really on how to push beyond what you have experienced, come hell or high water in your life. Life will happen, but you can overcome. And more importantly, within the last month and some change, I have created a community, the Resilient Leaders Alliance. And that is for leaders, anyone in a leadership role, whether on your job, in your home, or you may own a business. But the ideal person for that community is someone who wants to find meaning in adversity. They want to really understand how to shift pain into purpose. They may be a person to everyone else seems like they're highly successful, has everything together, but internally they may have self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Want to have a community who can help them navigate and pivot. Maybe they are on a cusp of evolving and growing beyond where they are now and say, hey, I want to shift somewhere in my life, but I need that support. And then a key thing that makes me
we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Her connection is not as well. I love what she talks about, and Jose is also part of your organization. He's also part of Jose's organization. I mean, Paul's organization, right? And I know you just came back and you had cut off.
Oh, so you all cut off on my end. I didn't realize it was me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that, because my connection is saying it's strong over here. So that was weird. Thank you for telling me.
No problem.
Okay.
So you can pick up from go back 30 seconds. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I know that's hard to do.
Yeah, because I don't know where I left off. Okay, that's
you were
okay.
talking about the community you've created, and Jose said he's part of your community, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. So what I was explaining was, in terms of the type of people that are ideal, it's not a checkoff list. So you don't have to fit every single aspect, but the whole gist of it is, what I want to hone in here is, as a certified life coach and certified holistic health coach, I also incorporate wellness principles into how to thrive beyond your challenges. So it's for people who are on any level, because sometimes we may have a perception of a person that's highly successful and think, oh, they don't have a care in the world. But at the end of the day, we're all going through this human experience. And so my community is for people that want to really find meaning in the challenges they've experienced in life. They want to know tangible strategies for in the moment, for short-term and long-term, sustainable and lasting success. But what I'm excited about, y'all, is more than a community. It's more than just Zoom meetings. I too have a background as a teacher for over 20 years, as well as working with adults. I was highly successful in my career, leading adults most of my career, but national board, etc. And I say that because Resilient Leaders Alliance is just not a Zoom group, but there are other things behind the scenes that are involved. And September 27th, I'm putting it out there already.
Nice.
We are having our first summit, our first virtual summit that is going to blow your mind. So it's a lot involved with it, and I'm so excited of what's happening with it.
So she said it here first. Everybody, make sure you put on a helmet so when your mind gets blown, it doesn't go too far.
It'll come.
I love it.
It'll come back together, because I'll give you those wellness principles to bring it all back together.
See, love it.
I love it.
Nikki, you know I'm a big fan, right? And by the way, if you don't know, this is Nikki Gangemi. She's also my co-host on the Seer Show, where we seek the truth
Mm.
about three things: health, fitness, and mindset. And Nikki, you're doing some incredible things. Tell us about what you're doing now.
Thank you, Sifu. Well, that's a nice segue into how I help people. I consider myself a personal trainer for the mind. I've always been fascinated with the mind because it was a source of challenge and struggle for me. And with what I've learned through my life and being able to manage it, and like Paul said earlier, not just the mind, but also the energy that we're leading from, so that we can attract the things that we want. That's how I help people today. So I created something called the Calm Method, which is a super simple framework that really helps you to get in touch with, how am I feeling right now? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking in my head? How can I shine a light on them and put them on trial and question, are these facts, like hard facts that I'm telling myself? Or are they beliefs, interpretations, stories, attitudes, or opinions that I have of myself? So that you can reframe them and you can have more first class thoughts instead of economy thoughts and move forward towards the things that you want in your life. So I work a lot with high achievers, perfectionists, and they come to me oftentimes for surface level problems. Maybe they are putting themselves under constant pressure because whatever they're doing, it's seen by amazing to the outer world, but their perception of how they see themselves is that it's not enough. So they might lack some confidence or just feel overwhelmed. They still have self-doubt, but when I work with them, we get to really the core, the heart of the issue. And it's almost always around their self-image. So I help them to rebuild their self-image so they like what they see in the mirror. They feel good about themselves. They love themselves, which is an essential. And you're talking to somebody who used to hate themselves. So I came a long way. And that's how I can help others.
Wow. How could you possibly not love yourself? Come on, girl.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, what, Nikki?
You are looking at a completely different person. My family knows who I used to be back in the day.
So you kind of came out of that cocoon, and now you're this beautiful butterfly. But I'm going to say everlasting butterfly because we know butterflies don't last that long.
Yeah.
That's right.
You, my friend, are you throw your heart out there. You're very compassionate. You're very real. You say it like it is. So sometimes and I noticed that at points, maybe when you were coming out, when I first got to know you, you were very, I'm going to let them shine. I'm going to let them shine. But it's your turn. You got to shine.
My turn.
It's your turn.
Oh,
That's why, listen, I've been on Paul's podcast, and I know that show's coming out sometime soon. I've been on Alicia's podcast, and I keep
Yours
saying,
is coming out next month.
What?
April. Yep, very soon.
And I know there's one podcast that I really would love to be on, and I'm just wondering when that invitation is coming.
It's
No pressure, of course.
No pressure.
Sophia, I want you to hold me accountable. I will have a summer launch. I will be launching my podcast this summer, and I want all of you on it.
All right.
All right. You know what?
I've got to have you two on.
We heard it first. Heard it first.
A launch party, Nikki.
Yes.
Everybody comes on and they
It's
talk
out
about
there. So now I got to make it happen. That's right.
That's right.
not that I'm pushing, but
No.
I always imagine that every one of us here on this panel has gone through things in our lives. Alethea, I spoke about it on your show. I've gone through just a tiny little bit of things. But when I look back at my life, I'm like, did I really go through that stuff? Because it made me who I am. But yet, I don't have the residual pain
Mhm.
which most people carry. And this is why we still keep putting ourselves down. And I realized that, wow, I don't carry any of that pain. From the age of 18, I let that all go, right? And no matter what happens in my life, I know that God has me. He's walking with me every day. And the beauty is that I get to connect with incredible people like yourselves. Every day we have a choice. And I've been living my life with that choice of I take care of me first, and then I take care of others. But yes, I'm selfish. I'm so darn selfish, and I love it because if I can't take care of me, how can I help anybody? I
That's
can't.
right. Mhm.
So, one of the things that for me personally, I'm going to let you know that I am going to be doing something pretty cool. It's going to be, I named it Sifu's Mind Body Method. And what that is helping people understand that it's not just about what we think we're going to do later on, but totally right now, because you can change your life for the better. And this method is going to be on hydration, movement, mindset, food choices, fasting, workouts, all of these different things. And for me, and I showed you an image before on this image, right? Because I want to open it to families. I don't want to just open it to one individual, which is definitely open to an individual, but I want to open it to families because I believe that we, for those people who go to work, they go to work, they leave their family, they leave their partners, they go to work and they get so crazy with work, and then they come home and they either have an argument with their spouse or their partner because work didn't go right and all this stuff. And maybe they don't spend time with their kids because they have stress and all these things. So I want to help people eliminate all of those things to create a mindset style to reset their lifestyle. So it's mindset, hydration, food intake, working out, but doing it as a family. If you have a family, if you're by yourself, hey, by all means, I'll be your family, and everybody here could be your family.
Mhm.
But when we consider the way we live our lives, we need to take that control back. We need the control back into our lives, and I that's why I called it reset because we may be thinking, yeah, I'm good. I have everything in my life. But if you're coming home and you're not eating properly,
Mhm.
if you're not waking up properly, and I don't mean like, I'm up, no, properly mentally, right? Here's something that I heard. You can wake up mad, and a lot of people do. You could wake up happy, like I do every morning. I'm alive. Woohoo! Or, but I've never woken up and I would love to wake up laughing. I don't know anybody who's woken up laughing. I'd love to talk to them. What was the joke? Did you tell yourself a joke before you went to sleep? And but a lot of times it's the mindset that we put ourselves when we go to sleep. There's a thing I do in the morning and I do at night, and sometimes I do it in the middle of the day. And I ask God to guide me and to download for me what I'm supposed to do
Mhm.
tomorrow, to teach me, to find the people that are going to guide me or the people that I need to guide so I can help them. Let me connect with more people so that I can be I can be the source of the light that they're looking for, or maybe they're the source of the light that I'm looking for. So I do that prayer every night, and I do it in the morning. And I already know what my morning is going to be like because it's already planned out, right? And I believe that everyone here plans their day. Otherwise, guess what? You're running somebody else's game. And it's time that we run our game. So I'm going to encourage anybody who's interested in really redefining what life means to you is try out my program. It will literally change you.
And Sifu, if it makes any difference, I know that yesterday I woke up laughing, but it was from an external source. It was from my cat, Buddy.
Oh, there you go. That's different.
Who
I
acts
love
like
that though.
he's starving in the middle of the night. So in the morning, he makes this whimper like, like, yes, I just bust out laughing when I woke up. I'm like, you're not starving. So
Don't
that
starve me,
made me
Mom.
laugh. But yeah, I understand though. I understand what you mean by that, because life can get heavy, but it doesn't mean that every day we have to wake up with a spirit of heaviness. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, not at all.
Beautifully said. Yeah.
So transformation, that's what I'm trying to help people achieve, because I know, listen, I've had clients who've gotten off medication. I've gotten clients who, I had a guy, he said it kind of crude, but he goes, almost crying, he said, Sifu, I want to thank you. He goes, I kind of laughed a little bit, but he says, I haven't seen my private parts in 20 years, but thanks to you, I can.
Wow.
I can look down and see my private parts. And I was like, okay, thanks for telling me. I said he was a little bit crude about the way he said it, but the impact that it made on him in 20 years, because this guy's a doctor, right? Mind you, a doctor who should know about food and health and all this. But he said that I changed his life.
Wow.
His daughter is also a client, and she not only became a client, she's now one of my trainers. So she not only changed her life, but now she changed it to be a lifestyle. And she's an incredible trainer, because I trained her how to train other people, how to help other people. But so transformational leadership for me means not just changing somebody so that they're changed, but so that they in turn lead others. Because I don't want to be the only leader. It's lonely at the top. I don't want to be there by myself, right? So it's important for us to understand that's what it means for me to be a transformational leader or have a leadership role. What does that mean for you? You guys, anybody take it away?
Yeah, I'll jump on there first. Thank you. So yeah, I love the language that you're using, and I'm the type of person, I say language is really important. Like the words that we choose, they have deep meaning, and they make impact. So when I think about transformation, I think there's one of the things that comes to mind is the word impact, right? There's meaning behind whatever that shift is. Like for you were talking about that client, and that client had in their mind what success looked like, right? And what was going to make an impact on his life. But for him, it was to be able to see his parts, right? And so it was like that meant something to him, regardless of how everyone else around him might perceive that. That had meaning, right? And that was the impact, and that impact for him was lasting. And so I think about there's some kind of sustainability in the impact. There is the opportunity to create, and this is not the big creation. We talk about being creators, but it's the small things. It's really the little things that we change and that we create that have a broader impact on changing the whole world. You can't change the whole world until you change the world inside of you. So let's focus on the smaller things that could have more impact on the outside when it comes to making transformation. So it's almost like we have to kind of flip the word around a little bit and look at it from on the other side and say, okay, there's creation, there's change, there's sustainability, there's impact. And when you start to combine all those things together, that then in turn leads to that broader, bigger change and transformation that everyone is imagining, but too afraid to break it down and make it meaningful. So I wanted to deconstruct that a little bit because I want people to understand that transformation is attainable. It's not this lofty thing that's out there in the ether that we all talk about as though, hey, we'd love to transform and see everyone transform one day. Well, let's unpack that a little bit and think about what that truly means to the individual and how that can have a broader impact on how they proceed moving forward with life.
I like that, Paul. I like that a lot. And I'm a language person too.
Yeah.
And just the way that you took us through that, I visualized it and I saw that. And I think for me, that word transformation has huge meaning. It's a part of my podcast name. But when I think about transformation, I think about the shedding of the parts that no longer fit and putting on something new. That's when I think of transformation. And the image that immediately comes to my mind when I think of transformations too, it's the caterpillar who goes into the cocoon and becomes this butterfly, but it's also a phoenix that rises from the ashes, this beautiful mythical phoenix, but then goes through the fire, becomes the ashes, and just as you think, oh, it's done for, it's not. It comes back even more into this beautiful creation. And to me, that's what transformation symbolizes, is the shedding of what no longer just not serves us, but maybe it's still parts of us that exist, but it's those small incremental changes that we make. It doesn't have to be this huge event or say, oh, I had a transformation. I see it as this ongoing process that never ends. And then from my beliefs is that transformation never stops, because even once this life is over, from my beliefs is that death is only the beginning. We still transform and we go elsewhere. I'm a Christian, so I believe in the afterlife, but regardless of your viewpoints, transformation is something that continues happening because we ourselves are spiritual beings living in a physical existence. And so that's what I see. It's just never ending.
It never is. I love it. I love it. What are your thoughts, Nikki?
So good. Oh, where do I begin? I'm going to begin with, I have a quote in my head by Maya Angelou. When you know better, you do better. And that has always resonated with me. And then I noticed that sometimes people do know better and they don't do better, myself included. And I think that's where we've got to be on board with transforming and wanting to do something differently and be different, but also questioning and being curious. So that's a big part of transformation for me. One of the things that, and I used to say this, so I will take ownership, but it's like, well, this is just how I am. This is how I learned, and it is what it is. And that I can't live by that anymore, because we have a choice. And even if you're 80, 90, 105, you can always transform. You have to want to. You have to be willing to. You've got to keep the curiosity and the questions going. Right? So that's what transformation is to me. But part of it is just knowing that it's okay. It's okay to transform, to shift, to change. And you've got to be a willing participant in it. And it's always available to you.
Love it. By the way, if I have not invited you yet, you're all invited to my 100th birthday party.
Awesome.
And,
I can't
Look
wait.
forward to
On
it.
the
Yes.
calendar.
Can't wait.
and what winds up happening is we're going to talk about today, and we're going to go, look where I used to be.
Mm.
Look how much I've grown from March 28th, Friday, March 28th. And here I am, and look at what I've accomplished. And look at the people that are with me, because it wasn't about me. It's about us, right? So I believe that, you know, if this was me when I was 18,
Mm.
I killed that guy,
Mm.
because that's when I understood that I am bigger than me, right? My mission is bigger than me. My purpose is bigger than me. So that's why I say I'm bigger than me, because I am also Christian, and I believe that he's leading my way. And therefore, that's why I ask him every day to continue to lead me in the right way. Don't get me wrong. I probably make more mistakes than anybody else, but that's what makes me human, right?
Mhm.
For the clients that you guys have that are perfectionists, whenever they do something perfect, please let me know,
Mm.
because I would like to know how.
Mm.
Well,
When we think about our lives, right? Transformation, think of transportation, right?
Mm.
So you have to take the transportation, with a train, a subway, a bicycle, roller skates, your legs. You have to go from one place to the other. You have to transform. That's your transportation. That's the thing, is that because we can take transportation back and forth to work, and we can keep doing the same nonsense, being mad at work, hating my job, coming home, being annoyed that my partner or my kids or whoever or my neighbors, they don't get me. But I can keep doing that yo-yo thing back and forth, or I can transform and saying, you know what? I get to have a job. It might not be the best job, but I am so lucky I have a job. I'm lucky that, yeah, maybe I am trading my time for money. I haven't done that in, I don't know, over 30 years. But what I do is I transform my outlook, my delivery of who I am to where I go. So if I go to a job and I'm working for someone else, I'm building their empire,
Mhm.
then guess what? I'm going to build it great, because
Mm.
when I leave, I want it to still be standing. And when
Yes.
I start building my own empires because of the actions I took when I was helping someone else to build mine.
Yes. I like
And
that.
when we accommodate
Mhm.
for someone else, we need to accommodate for us. But if we don't help someone else build their empire, we will not have the correct tools to build ours. So they are the people, even if they yell at us, hate us, whatever it is, if we're open enough, and like I said earlier, SEO, see every opportunity, because I may be in the worst job ever, but I have to see the opportunities that will present if I'm open, so that when I'm in my own kingdom that I'm building, that I can bring the right people, that I can learn from those mistakes that they made, so I don't have to continue going in those footsteps.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So transformation and transportation, my friends.
I love that.
Me
I love
too.
it. I love it.
I agree.
First I heard it put that way. It's original.
Mhm. It really is.
Mhm.
Well, I love what you're saying, Sifu, because you know it is the transportation, but then it's like, what's the vehicle, right? It's, I think the vehicle is where you kind of make it practical and operational, right? So, like I do it in the morning, like so I set an intention for the day, how I want to show up. You know, I think about the things that I'm most appreciative of in the moment right now to kind of set the tone for the day, because none of this stuff happens by accident, right? We can certainly go at life and think, okay, it's just going to happen by chance or whatever it is, so it's predestined for me, so it doesn't matter what I really want to do here. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen to me. Well, it's like you can take charge and choose your vehicle. So I use the vehicle of meditation, right? And intention setting and having a gratitude practice, because it's those practices that then in turn will change how you show up, because you're doing those things consistently. So I'm using the word practice, not just saying just doing the activity, right? So because practice means consistency, right? So all of us that are talking about, I got to practice to do something, I'm practicing X, Y, and Z. If you do it once every couple months or years, you're not practicing anything. You're engaging in an activity for a period of time, for a short period of time. Practice, consistency, right? With an outcome in mind. So your transportation is the vehicle, but what's the vehicle you're going to choose, right? To operationalize. So I love it.
Well, guess what, boys and girls? It's come to that time. It's come to that time.
Final
And
Jeopardy.
you know what I'm thinking here? Here's what I'm thinking is that we can talk for hours, and we should, right? So I want to create a panel, and I'm going to send you all some ideas that we bring, maybe Jose and a couple of other people, and we have like 12 people, and maybe we do a 2-hour, 3-hour, no charge to anybody, right? Just to bring the brilliance that you have and share it with everybody in the world. I mean, I'm so fortunate that my shows are seen in 185 countries. So let's impact more people. All right. So I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to give you all 30 to 45 seconds. Your website is going to be going across the bottom, and then let's make magic happen. Everybody, make sure you follow these guys. They're incredible. Paul, you're up first because your website is at the bottom going across.
Well, that's my link tree, but my website is evolvehumanpotential.co, not .com, .co. But you'll see all things wellness, well-being. You'll see my community. You'll have the Becoming Human 2.0 collective, as well as the Becoming Human 2.0 incubator, which is a private membership community. You'll see the Becoming Human 2.0 unscripted podcast, which is one of my babies for making, creating impact in the world and having unscripted conversations with folks globally, talking about things that matter, things that are important to humanity and to our evolution. So just wrapped up season 1 there too. So that's amazing. I'm excited about that. And we'll go into the rest of the year kind of relaxing, preparing for season 2, which will officially kick off in October of this year. And last but not least, outside of the community, which is really the biggest focus of my organization, is looking at what's called the Evolve Human Potential Apothecary, which is not only just providing concierge pharmaceutical grade supplements, but also concierge services to folks who are interested in pursuing a more focused and intentional health and well-being journey. So I provide the concierge services for that as well. So lots of great things happening. I have a challenge coming up myself on alignment and integration, which is really focused around the Becoming Human 2.0 model. You stay tuned for more of that. I'll be making announcements and certainly on my website and in my community as well.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Alethea, you have 30, 45 seconds.
Okay, but so for 30 seconds, the way that you can follow me, it's up there. That's my link tree. My main website, AletheaFelton.com, is going through the process of being updated. But if you go there, you can still sign up for my newsletter. If you'd like to learn more about the Resilient Leaders Alliance, follow me on social media, contact me. I am happy to have a one-on-one talk with you about how you can be a part of this movement more than just a community. Also, the Power Transformation Podcast. Subscribe on all audio platforms. I also just created a YouTube channel for it. I am wrapping up season 3. Season 4 launches in December, but I'm always open to screening guests. so that you could possibly be on season 4. And if you ever want a dynamic speaker for your event, in person or virtual, contact me. I am available and ready, and my solo book is coming out soon. Stay tuned.
You'll have to come on my Author's Tales podcast.
Yes, I will. I certainly will.
All right. Nikki, you're up, my friend.
Thank you, Sifu. Hi, everyone. Nikki Gangemi, Mindful Matters LLC. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. My website is my name, nikkigangemi.com. I host complimentary monthly immersive workshop experiences where you learn a new tool each month to manage your mind and your energy the easy way. So look for an invite for that coming up in April. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. And I'm Sifu Rafael. What can I say? My name, my website, sifurafael.com. Just come out and meet me, just like Nikki Gangemi's got her website, right? And you guys all have as well. Here's the thing. If you're looking for a change in your life, whether it is because I have a communication school, I can help you get on stages, help you get a raise, help you get along with your spouse or your partner. I love communication. It has changed my life, and I know it will change yours. And also, I have a great program coming up, 90 Days to Reclaim Your Life. Thank you, everybody. By the way, in about 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes now, because I'm running late now, we have Speaking Prowess. Come take a look there. Everybody, have yourself an exceptional rest of your day, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.